And welcome back. Thom Hartmann here with you and Kenyatta in Redlands, California. Hey, Kenyatta, what's on your mind today?
How are you, Mr. Hartmann?
I am well, sir. I hope you are too.
Yes, I am. I wanted to talk to you about something that occurred a couple of weeks ago. I wanted to give you, so I'll speak very quickly in deference to time. When I was in my early 20s, which would have been in the mid-'80s, I read a book by a man called Jonathan Schell called The Fate of the Earth, which is interesting because you have a new book out that has a title very similar to that. But this was a book about nuclear weapons, and it broke down nuclear weapons where the average person could understand them, what their effect would be on the environment, people, so forth and so on. And it struck me. And having a father that was a career Marine and going to military school, as I've mentioned to you before, I have a certain knowledge of these things or proclivity towards them. And a couple of weeks ago, the nuclear or doomsday clock, and I'm sure you're familiar with it, was set at 2.5 minutes to midnight, midnight being nuclear war. And it is the closest it's been since 1953, where it was actually at 2 minutes.
Right.
And the reasons that were cited for this were the rise of strident nationalism, asterisk the rhetoric of Donald Trump,
right,
climate change, and I would also, and this is just me throwing it in there, I think the threat of cyber attack, whether that results in some type of incidental or accidental launch or something like that, is very real. Americans, we always have our heads in the sand. We say this can't happen and won't happen, but I'll tell you something, Tom. On September, on 9/10, the day before 9/11, if I had told you that what was going to happen the following day would happen, you would have probably had me put in a straitjacket. I wanted to know what, and all of this intoxication with Donald Trump and all of that stuff is meaningless if we go there. The world's a very dangerous place. We have Iran just firing off a ballistic missile.
Right.
I just kind of wanted to know. I didn't hear anything on your show about it, and I'm an avid listener. You have any thoughts about this, or you have any concerns?
I'm tremendously concerned about it. The number of nuclear weapons that the United States has, and we're in the process of upgrading our nuclear arsenal right now. It's a $1 trillion effort that President Obama put into place. And Russia has what, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, something like that, nuclear nukes. They used to have over 10,000.
And megatons, not kilotons like Hiroshima.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, these bombs are much, massively larger than what we dropped on Japan and Hiroshima or Nagasaki. And then, now China has nuclear weapons and nobody knows how many.
Pakistan, India.
Yeah. Israel. I mean, the nuclear proliferation is not a good thing, and nuclear winter is an extinction event, as you know. And I'm very concerned about this, and I'm particularly concerned about the potential for a World War I kind of event, where Donald Trump says something stupid, like he's yelling at Iran right now, and the consequence of that ends up being a regional war that, because of interlocking alliances, becomes an international war. And then becomes a nuclear war. And we're building battlefield nukes, for example, which could quickly start an escalation. So I share your concern, Kenyatta. I think this is a big deal. Thank you for the call.